if it was illegal to say stupid things into a microphone.
Why must you be so stupid?
These guys would be doing life without parole.
Hey, everybody, we're back from prison.
Why do we keep encouraging this kind of behavior? It's the Breaking the Ice podcast with Josh Dolan.
You know, we could, go to jail for this.
Along with Mike Shue and Isaiah Moskahana Mana Blitz Boskowitz, whatever the hell his name is.
Hello, kids.
There's everybody.
Hello.
I mean, you figured it out, huh?
Fucking dude, I just noticed I've had no. It's 10:30 in the morning and I've had no emails. That's unusual.
I mean,
most people are up my ass.
Business? What does LTI stand for? Lieutenant Technical Issues? What's going on?
Check.
Yep.
Can you guys hear me?
Oh, you sound good.
You've got a nice big dick.
Goddamn right, I sound good.
That's
Sure. Three tones.
You should be on the radio. Oh no, wait, they stopped that. Yeah.
Yeah, I should be on the radio.
Oh, it's like velvet, Mike. That mic.
No, that
sounds
definitely
so
rumbles.
deep and
Yeah.
creamy.
Well, you've got
look
the
at your
same mic,
microphone.
don't you?
Yeah, but I don't have the same voice. Your voice sounds so good.
Well, all you have to do is smoke 2 Marlboro 25 packs a day and drink an entire bottle of Jack Daniels before noon.
Hold on. Let me write that down.
10
Can you
years,
repeat that?
and you'll have almost the same, probably better voice, because the cigarettes are better now, from what I hear.
Oh, sounds
Oh yeah, cigarettes are better. Sure, that makes
Yeah.
sense.
Did you go no filter?
I used to smoke Pall Malls back in the day.
Just rip the filter off, you pussy.
Might as well buy them without wasting. I don't want to ruin the planet, so I just bought them without them, so I didn't litter the ground with my filters.
What about the menthols, kid? The green pack of Marlboro menthols.
Illegal.
Canvas high.
I tried the Newports for a while. I just, menthols wasn't my thing.
Illegal.
Rich.
Well, yeah.
chemical
But for the 10 years I smoked them, they weren't.
Does anybody smoke anymore? I feel like back in the day,
Oh, God,
I remember thinking cigarette butts were a part of the beach, and they're just not there anymore.
They washed up like seaweed and shells and stuff like that. Yeah. No.
People still smoke. Just go to Walmart and look outside.
They just
Right.
have to hide.
Exactly. They have to hide it now. They
Right.
have to, they've built little fishbowl tanks for their area that they have to stand in or sectioned off like 50 feet away from the domicile or whatever. And, so soon they'll be hiding.
It's so
in
stupid.
caves,
It's so stupid to think about how restaurants used to be smoking section, no smoking section. Are you fucking kidding me?
which was
Like, it's not
hilarious.
just going to travel over here while I'm
Yeah.
having my eggs Benedict?
The best part was the no smoking section on planes. That
Oh,
was the
God.
greatest thing ever. You're stuck in a tube in the sky, and
Right.
And you've got the back of the plane. It's like the back of the school bus where everybody's lighting up, butts and stuff like that, and you're not breathing in any of that smoke, right?
No.
Between
Yeah,
the
'cause
plain food back
smoke
then,
knows to stay in its own section. It's just like the coronavirus. It knows
Right.
what
Right.
concert
It knows.
venues are, and it knows what restaurants are.
exactly, Josh.
You can play hockey.
It's an
but you
amazingly
can't go
intelligent virus. You're right, Josh. It knows what an actual music venue is and what a restaurant that has the occasional guy playing Brown Eyed Girl is.
And speaking of coronavirus, the last time we were all in the same room, we were at Mistress Carrie's house, and Carrie's our guest this week.
That's
Right?
right. Hello, Mistress Carrie.
Are you guys recording?
Oh,
We
God.
are.
We
We
go
don't
to the
have
beginning.
intros.
We
This
just
is
go.
what we
We
do.
just start
It's not
yapping.
like your
Oh.
podcast that has like this really
You're
sweet,
professional.
and then you kind of like give a little background and you do the sponsor. No, this is just like we just dive in.
We take the Joe Rogan approach. We just
Right. Without all the
Billions of dollars.
Right, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Right. This cost us, nothing.
Yeah. Well,
We do have to
Costing
thank
it
sponsors,
on
though.
Zoom.
We do have to do that because we like to get that out of the way up front.
let me
you
get
look
my
at our-
coffee. Speaking of sponsors, hold on.
Do it. But we've got an awesome website now at breakingtheicepodcast.com that Nicole and Invoke Media made. And actually, Josh just ran off to get coffee from our friend Matt owns Wolfpack Coffee, and Invoke Media just redid his website so you can buy your coffee if you want it.
right. Wolfpack Coffee, owned by vets, run by vets, and it's delicious.
I got to
Right,
get
right.
some of that. I've resorted to drinking my coffee out of mason jars here at the house.
Oh my
God. You've
You
got
know
to
what,
get a
Carrie,
hold of
though?
Matt.
At least you're not peeing in your mason jars and saving it. At
No.
least that's good.
No.
Ooh.
Okay, good.
This little straw contraption for the top of these mason jars is like the greatest thing ever.
Wow. It looks like a bomb.
Two more to mention. Chris over at Garage Doors Plus. I've been laughing at his social media with the shitty garage
he's
door
great with the video.
and then the new garage door. So Chris at Garage Doors Plus, and then Joe at Boston Exterior Remodeling. They do all the shit. If you need it done for your house, get it done. Those people are awesome.
Yeah, they need to call me too.
They're the company I would call.
Do to my house.
They're the company I would call if I want my house to look like the Enterprise from the original series. That is something they could probably they probably have done it before, at least.
Carrie,
we
we figured out in the last episode. So Mike's garage is just falling apart, but he's working on other things. And he said, look, when it's time, I'm going to have Chris from Garage Doors Plus do a whole Geddy Lee garage door. And now he's telling me that Joe from Boston Exterior Remodeling can now redo your house like the Enterprise. I mean, you're going full geek. I love it.
Live the dream. If
you're going to do it, do it.
All right?
Yeah, why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Right.
I mean,
the entire time you're a kid, you're like, I can't wait to be an adult so I can do whatever I want. And now you're an adult. I'm going to have cake and ice cream for breakfast.
I'm going
to do it when you're young. You're immature and you're not, you're not spending your money right. When you're older, you've earned that money. If you want Geddy Lee on your garage door, Mike Shue,
that's right.
Do it.
Fucking Geddy Lee on your garage door.
It's going to look like the Presto
I want something
tour.
from Star Wars. I want something from Star Wars in my house. I'm going to call one of those guys for it.
Oh, you definitely have to have a Mos Eisley cantina.
Right.
In your house,
oh my God, yes.
Yeah. I know. Get the band with the giant foreheads and eyes and stuff like that. Yeah.
I want the Muppet wall with all the Muppets at the beginning of the show and all their little things with Waldorf and Statler up. Yeah.
You know what you need in your studio? You need a little balcony for what were their names again?
For the Muppet Mistress?
Yes. You gotta.
Where's the Muppet Mistress?
It's right there. Hold on. I'm going to get it.
That's supposed to be
yes.
funny.
The last time we were over at Carrie's house, Josh made a good point. We were episode.
God, this is freaky.
It was episode 3 because you and I did one at my house. Then we went to Mike's house. Then we went to Carrie's. And I remember Wednesday and Muppet Mistress were hanging out on the dining room table. And you made
I'm grabbing my own boob over here. I didn't feel up the Muppet.
This is very hot for like Jim Henson.
Wait, hold on, Mike. Where's the racist cock? Where's the racist cock?
Oh, you know what? I left my cock downstairs.
Go get it. Go fucking get it.
Oh,
go get it. The racist cock has to meet fucking. Mistress Carrie Muppet.
Doing this podcast without the racist cock to help us out is like having a gun without the safety on. You just it's not safe.
See, we all have props, Carrie. Hold on.
Oh my God, that's one of them.
This is one of 3. This is Speedy.
When are you fostering out all these cats, or are you becoming Danielle and just going to keep them all?
Well, what happened? We had the 4, and I gave it to Danielle. Right, I'm going to be the cat guy. And I gave all 4 to Danielle, who was awesome. Her organization with cats is fucking amazing. Follow her on social media.
No,
Danielle.
I'd never do that. It's a toy. I'd never do that.
Oh God!
All right, I'm back.
Dude, what?
Sorry.
What? Oh my God! Did she touch the racist cock?
No, she's like, "What are you doing up there with the door closed with the chicken?"
I have no pants on. That's what's happening.
Don't ask questions.
Yeah, I'm not doing anything.
Hold on, you got to. There you go. The racist cock meets fucking the Mistress Muppet.
All right, so Shue and Carrie have puppets, and me and Isaiah have animals. We have live animals.
Right.
So
I have to walk Wednesday out of the studio when I'm in here because she barks and she just wants to sit on my lap so that she could just snort into the microphone. That's awesome. All she wants to do.
That should be the next
same thing about my wife. I'll lock the door. She just wants to sit on my lap and snort into the microphone.
Whoa.
You know.
So to answer your question, Carrie, I gave all 4 to Danielle. She socialized them, did the first round of shots. It was a little slow with COVID, so it was like about a month. We took 4 back. Spanky went with, you remember Nikki Zarella? We worked with Nikki before at Entercom. Her sister took one of the cats, which is awesome. We've got 3. Speedy is staying. Chetta is staying. And Jet is going with another friend, Stephanie. So we will end up with
Jet
2.
is basically a cast member of this podcast at this point.
Oh, hold on. We got to get the Josh made a fucking T-shirt for the cat.
Oh, geez. Really?
And you can
Josh is like a merch king.
Right?
Yeah.
Anything you say can and will be turned into a T-shirt.
Yes. Yeah. Careful what you post online because it could end up on a T-shirt. Absolutely.
I know. Hold on.
What has become with all of our lives?
This.
I know, right?
Look at us.
Yeah. I'm over here choking the chicken. You know, Isaiah has become a cat lady.
Jesus Christ.
You know, you're grabbing the boob of a doll that looks
Of
like
yourself?
you. That might be the
Of
most
myself.
interesting story here.
And Josh has a cat named Santa that he stole from Dover, New Hampshire.
I didn't steal. It's called rescued. I put my own life at risk. And
Was it in somebody else's house at the time?
no, she was
Okay.
in the woods eating dirt.
Okay.
Had a name tag and a phone number. They just cut it off and ran.
What is this doing? What's this trash doing on the?
I'm so glad that Josh's life is still a mess and a total disaster because if we lost WAF and then his life became awesome, that just would have been
Yeah, I would have
weird.
given up.
Josh loves Corona because we weren't doing
look.
all this before Corona hits. We've been doing this since for 4 months now. He loves coronavirus. He loves
I'm
the
so
lockdown.
pro Corona, dude. Everybody's got to live like me now.
Everybody's got to do a fucking podcast in their basement.
Trying to get
So
the
what-
second wave going.
Well,
What's
let's,
the,
before we continue, I know we already talked about breakingtheicepodcast.com, but
Yep.
remember, if you can, please subscribe to the breakingtheicepodcast.com and rate us. Give us a 5-star rating. We have ways of tracking where you live. We'll come and wear your face as a
I'll
mask.
send fucking Russia after you.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. So,
And we're big in Istanbul for some reason.
are we
Carrie's in
really?
76 countries.
I know.
Fuck.
Carrie's
We'll get to
77.
that.
Carrie's
I got
on a
another one this
foundation
week.
tour.
You're
Yeah.
in fucking Ray Bork territory, baby. 77.
Woo!
I didn't even know there was 77 countries.
Oh! Can they
What's
hear
sad
you in
is that-
Star Wars land?
I get the updated map, and then it's like it allows me to highlight the ones that I got, but the ones that I don't have, it doesn't highlight and identify them. So I'm cross-referencing with a world map, trying to figure out what countries hate my podcast. Like, come on, man! Somebody's got to know somebody there.
She's
Why
like,
don't
I was just looking at our podcast map, and I thought we were doing really well in Florida, but it was a coronavirus map. So
Oh,
yeah.
shit.
We're huge in Florida and Texas. Oh, no, we're not.
No, we're dead in Arizona, actually.
Where are we huge, Josh? I haven't looked at the map yet.
America can't. I'll pull it up right now. On my
America. Did you say that's a great sales pitch? Who listens? America.
We're big in America.
Nobody listens in China.
93% of our listeners are in the United States of America.
Okay.
That's helpful.
3% Canada, and then we got Australia, United Kingdom, and Ireland. So Istanbul has dropped.
Oh, no.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
I don't think they like cats.
Sweden. Oh God, I didn't know we had that many.
It's only the English-speaking countries, apparently, that'll listen to us.
They're
But
all-
Carrie, they
we got
all
Mexico.
understand Carrie's language for some
Wait,
reason.
what? Wait, we have Mexico?
Do
Yeah,
we
we got Mexico, but we got 17 white countries and then Mexico. So
Oh, boy.
Shocking.
We got to work on that.
yeah.
We're gonna work on that. Where's the diversity? This is where the racist cock comes in, so we'll just black it all out if we say stupid shit.
Yeah, we got to work on diversity. Oh, wait, we have an Asian guy on the show. I think we're doing okay.
Oh, dude. Oh, you've got to show that picture. Oh my God. You've seen the t-shirt, right, Carrie?
Which one?
Mike's shoe, the t-shirt.
I know, right? We're an apparel company now.
Jesus, which one?
It's the picture of Mike in high school getting his tuxedo.
Oh,
Josh made
yeah.
a fucking t-shirt
Oh,
about
I
it.
saw it. Yeah, it's
And-
glorious.
And wait till tell me he doesn't look like the lead singer of a fucking Asian Duran Duran.
Yeah,
Look
Lenny
He's
said
like
that.
in Flock of Seagulls.
Right? Exactly.
I think I have a Lou Diamond Phillips vibe going on.
You totally do, Mike.
Jean jacket.
Okay.
Come on. La Bamba.
Totally do.
La
Yeah.
Bamba all fucking day. We've got the guy from La Bamba on the show joining us.
Yeah, how
Thank
you
you.
doing?
How's your career?
It's great. I have like my hair. It's not there.
How's Buddy Holly doing?
You're holding a cock on a podcast. How you
I
doing
know
these
this is what my career is right now, right here. So look, Carrie's got her own podcast, the Mistress Carrie
yeah.
Podcast,
I
which is
do.
so quality. I mean, if
kicking
you
ass.
go over to listen to her podcast after you listen to ours, you realize what a quality podcast sounds like. I mean, in all manners. You
And
know,
there's only one of me. You guys got a whole staff.
yeah,
It's a
it takes a
whole-
lot of people
this is
to
a
ruin
staff?
something.
More than I got.
I got a staff right here.
You have hold on. 2
Okay.
dogs, your mother, you have roommates, and a doll. Your mother's the executive vice president. The other people are you
Oh
got
my
a full staff.
God.
We're in 3 different places and we have no clue what we're doing.
So you're on are you on weekly? You're on weekly, right?
Yep.
Yeah, new episodes every Wednesday.
Right. And so far you've talked to people. You started off with Brent from Shinedown, and then you talked to Zach from Shinedown and Corey Taylor.
Corey Taylor was awesome.
Yeah, you've had Tommy Vexton, who was on the Breaking the Ice podcast.
Yep.
Yeah.
You had DMC from Run DMC on, Daryl McDaniels. Am I missing anybody here?
yes.
The First Sergeant Jonathan Hill from that movie, The Outpost. He was portrayed in that new movie, The Outpost, that's out on demand right now about the Battle of Cop Keating. And hearing his real life story about what it was like up there and what life was like afterwards is a real companion piece to the movie. So if you've watched The Outpost, because it's a fantastic movie, but if you watched it, you got to go back and listen to episode 5 of the Mistress Carrie podcast, because it makes it really personal. There were only 53 Americans up there, and he's one of them. And he received the Silver Star and the Purple Heart for his actions that day. And it's just an unbelievable story. And it really humanizes everything that our troops go through in preparation to get deployed, and then what happens when you're deployed, especially with something like that. I mean, this battle is taught at West Point now because it was such a horrible battle from beginning to end. And then to hear about his struggles coming home with post-traumatic stress and him being such a mental health advocate, it's really a powerful episode. I'm really proud of that one. I'm proud of all of them, but I'm really proud of that one.
You know,
Must be really cool.
I have to say that what you just described and knowing that guy's story, I feel incredibly stupid sitting here with a rubber chicken on my lap.
Oh, stop it.
Like, what have I done with my fucking life?
He'd be the first one to make the cock jokes, though. He would totally appreciate you having a cock on your lap.
Oh,
You feel
God.
stupid. How do you think I feel? I get nervous screwing in light bulbs because I don't know when they're going to turn on, and I hate it.
What the fuck are we doing?
I don't know.
You know what's cool, Carrie, is that you spent your entire, radio professional career at WAAF and supported the troops, and nothing's changed. I mean, people that don't know the inside of radio or the inside of personalities, I know, knowing the two of you prior, before working with you, having listened, and then working with you, you're real fucking people. And there's a lot of that doesn't go on in radio, a lot of fake bullshit, but you're real people, and what you believe in goes to any platform. I don't care if you're doing a podcast, a movie, a radio show, or just sitting in the living room, you're always supporting veterans. So, and it proves it right there with one of those episodes you're doing on your show. And talk about some of the other work that you do and you still currently do to support our troops. I know you were a big supporter and still are of Home Base. I do some work with them. Talk about some of that stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it's just always been instilled in me growing up in a family that was military and first responders that, it's incumbent upon all of us to pull our weight however we do that. And I'm not physically eligible for military service. I can't say that I ever would have joined, but it just was never an option. So I just looked at whatever platform that I had as being, okay, well, that's my part then. That's what I can do. And
Right.
Obviously after 9/11, I mean, Mike was at WAF with me. It was like we completely shifted gears, and we really wanted to make sure, because so many of our WAF audience members were in the military or joined the military or were working here at home in some first responder capacity. And so it was just a matter of taking care of the people that were taking care of us. And so it's something that always has brought me joy. My uncle, my dad's best friend growing up, my Uncle Froggy, I've talked about him in the past. He got drafted and was in Vietnam, in the Central Highlands of Vietnam in 1968, which is the worst time of the war. And he was a LRP, or Long Range Reconnaissance Patrol, which is basically a Green Beret, except he didn't have the training to be a Green Beret. He just did the job. Came home with a Purple Heart, got spit on at the airport, was one of those people that threw his uniform away. And I remember growing up watching him react to things like fireworks and stuff. And he's still alive. And I'm actually trying to get him to let me interview him for my podcast. He's in his 70s now. And it's a story that inspired me so much to do a lot of the work that I do. And stories of that generation of veterans, they need to be documented so that future generations understand what not to do when it comes to helping our military and supporting our military. And so I'm trying to get him to let me interview him so that people can hear his story, because he's not the only person that had that experience. And so I grew up with that, and with my grandfather and my great-grandfather and my cousins, and my boyfriend now is in the military. And so it's just something that I just always wanted to do my part. And so I've always worked. I mean, we helped at WAF build the first house for Homes for Our Troops. The guys from Dust came out with us. They've built over 300 homes now.
That's a great organization. I work with them.
It's an amazing organization.
Amazing people. And
we were there helping them build their first house right here in Massachusetts in Middleborough. And so, I've worked with Home Base. I've worked with Project New Hope. I've worked with, there's so many. And most recently, you guys brought up the War Room earlier because we recorded the last time we all were together.
Love that room.
So I started a video show called Cocktails in the War Room.
Yep.
And it was a nightly show for 81 days straight. Mike Shue helped me kick off the final nightly show, but now it's a weekly show every Tuesday night at 8:30 live on my Facebook page. And I made Cocktails in the War Room t-shirts to benefit the Massachusetts Military Support Foundation and their Food for Vets program. And out of my dining room, we sold almost 800 t-shirts, and we're able to donate $5,600 to help feed veterans. And right now, those veterans that are in the most need of food assistance are World War II, Korean War, and Vietnam veterans. These veterans are also the ones that are most susceptible to the coronavirus. And they're also the ones, when I went down there and toured the facility, which is in the warehouse right next to Gillette Stadium. The Crafts, by the way, have done unbelievable work with this organization. They're allowing Food for Vets to do all of their packaging and all of their distribution out of the warehouse that the Crafts own to store, the decking that they put down when there's concerts at Gillette. Yep. They have that big white plastic decking. They had to buy a warehouse to store that and all the chairs and stuff. They moved all of that stuff to one side of the warehouse so that Food for Vets can move into that warehouse at the Crafts own. And when I went down there to tour that facility, they were also saying that this era of veterans are also the ones that are most likely to get laid off and furloughed because of the coronavirus, and the ones that are least likely to get brought back as the economy recovers. And so this food assistance...
I'm sorry to interrupt. Why? Yeah. Why is it why is that a fact?
They're saying that, and this is coming from the organization, this isn't, something I'm making up, but they're saying that these older veterans are most likely the closest to retirement age. They're also capped out and making the most money. And so companies right now, in a lot of ways, are using the coronavirus to downsize payroll and downsize personnel. And so somehow it's getting rationalized that they are letting go people that are on the older end of the spectrum and the ones that are making the most money. And if they're going to retain employees, they're retaining younger ones that are used to making less money or willing to work for less money.
That's discrimination. That shouldn't be happening.
Of course it is, but you have to be able to prove it. And you also got to get a lawyer. And these people are in need of food assistance. It's not like they have access to legal counsel to be able to actually make us think about it. And so they were saying that veterans that are over the age of 50 or 55 are the ones that are in most need of this food assistance right now. But what's amazing is that the volunteers for the Food for Vets programs, the ones that are actually going to the warehouse and packing these care packages every day that are getting distributed to veterans around New England, are under the age of 50. So young people are coming out and volunteering their time to help. So Food for Vets, that $5,600 that we raised from the Cocktails in the War Room shirts, if you're a veteran and you are in need of food assistance, you go on and you apply. And when you get accepted, there's all these distribution sites. So you can pick the one that's closest to you. And then you go there. and they give you 2 boxes of food. They give you a box of non-perishables, and then they give you a box of perishables, and those boxes combined are enough food for 2 people, 3 meals a day for 2 weeks.
That's great.
Just game changing if you are struggling to make ends meet right now. And there's just no reason why our veterans, especially our veterans that are older, our Vietnam, Korean War, and World War II veterans should be struggling to eat right now. It's just ridiculous.
That's wrong.
It's totally wrong. It's interesting. You're talking about this today. Yesterday, one of my clients is the Disabled American Veterans of Massachusetts, and I work with Dan Stack and his whole team. We were just talking about that program because that program, the DAV sends volunteers to that to package things up. So I was on the phone with Deb from the DAV and Dan because we're actually working on partnering with the DAV, another partner of mine that build showers for homeless people that literally haven't showered in not just veterans, homeless people in general, but there's a huge homeless veteran population.
It's massive. It's embarrassing.
It's so embarrassing. And Mr. Kraft actually donated $50,000 to this organization, supportthesoupman.org, that I'm working with. This guy Peter lost his son to an opioid addiction. He was homeless in Bangor and he died. So Peter's made it his life's mission. And yesterday, the conversation came up. Mr. Kraft gave $50,000 for one of these mobile showers. Where can we put it? I called Dan right up at the DAV, and the conversation. I have a call this afternoon to partner up with the Crafts and take that shower, to multiple places. You've heard of what stand downs are, where they do that for the homeless folks.
Yeah, they do it at Veterans Inc. in Worcester, which is another fantastic organization.
Yeah, I love it. You and I have been on the same wavelength with this for years with the work I do with the VA, and it's like I'm in a similar situation. I didn't serve. I'm a civilian. I did not, but I'll do my damnedest and try to help and use whatever platform. And the point I was making is I love that it continues from WAAF to what you're doing. Keep doing it. It's fucking awesome. Keep fucking doing it.
Carrie, is that foodforvets.org?
No, it's the Food for Vets program. The website is massmilitarySupportFoundation.org. Okay. And they have food distribution places in Agawam, Barnstable, Danvers, at Devons, in Foxborough, Haverhill, Methuen, Sandwich, West Springfield. There's even one in South Paris, Maine. And what they were telling me is that the biggest expense, because there are so many companies that are so generous in donating food and non-perishables. Again, Mr. Kraft supplies all the cardboard boxes for them to pack up these things. But the biggest actual cost and expense for the Food for Vets program is the fuel for the trucks to move these things around, not only to go and collect the donations, because they're working with the food banks, they're working with everybody, but to get all of this food around to the distribution site where they can be packed up and then getting these boxes back out to the actual veterans. And so that $5,600 that we raised from the Cocktails in the War Room t-shirts, that's what it went to. And I went down.
Yes. Yep. Good.
I went down and walked through the facility and watched how organized it is. And they worked with a dietitian to make sure that these are all balanced meals. Mm-hmm. And so the volunteers go down with these little buggies and they're told how many pieces from this pallet, how many cans of this, how many boxes of that need to go in each one, so that they're not just getting like boxes of macaroni and cheese, they're getting balanced meals, and they're also getting dairy products and fresh produce, so that
for 2 weeks.
Huge. And they, once they get registered, this is a no-touch process as well. So that if you are afraid to go out, if you're elderly, or if you know someone, an elderly veteran in your neighborhood or community that maybe isn't internet savvy, or, maybe is dealing with mobility issues, you can get this food to them and they don't have to worry about exposure with the virus, which is just huge. And, I looked at something like that, watching all these volunteers putting food in people's trunks in the parking lot of Gillette Stadium. And I was like, how can we not, I know how you guys are too. It's like, didn't you feel fucking useless when the world was shut down and we were all sitting in our living rooms? Like, I was so used to being one of those essential workers that was just at the radio station trying to figure out what to do. And this is the first time in my life where I was at home. I was like, I feel fucking useless right now.
But you did something with it. You turned around and you did something.
Yeah.
You did something.
I know, but you guys know what I mean, though.
Oh, God, yeah. Because people would listen to us.
Jobs that we had, we would go to work and we would be those people that were out promoting these charitable endeavors.
Being the information on the radio people relied on.
Yeah, supporting the essential workers and all of the people that were out there, whether it be the plow truck guys and the DPW guys that are out during the middle of a blizzard and the tow truck guys, or after the marathon bombing or after 9/11, like anytime anything was wrong, we were always in the studio helping to try and do our part to make it right.
Right.
And then being at home, being somebody that just got stuck. Yeah. And I hated that feeling. And so the people in the war room really galvanized together and bought these t-shirts, and I packed them in my dining room with my mom and my godmother and like
your staff. I told you had a staff. I didn't know about the godmother. She's on the payroll.
I fed them in meatballs.
Oh my God. Guys, remember the lasagna she fed us? I was in a fucking coma the entire way home. So good.
Hey, at least you didn't stay at her house for 3 days this time.
Yeah, no, it's nice not having him just laying on my couch.
No, you know what's great about that? I'm actually in a better marriage this time. Oh.
Ouch.
Maybe I wanted to go home. Oh, you are too.
Oh, jeez.
So the podcast is going great. We were over there when we did the third episode of Breaking the Ice podcast. We were over at your house.
We were joking about the wethen ending, and then it did.
Right.
And then
we
it
were
did.
fucking around. We're like, this will be. I think I knew the next week.
It's so embarrassing. Go back and listen to that episode and listen to how many jokes we were making, and it actually all came true. We were such assholes.
You know what's amazing is that I remember joking about, like, soon we'll all have designer masks, like Gucci will make masks and Louis Vuitton and stuff.
You were totally right, Mike.
Everybody's got a branded mask now.
Daryl McDaniels from Run DMC was telling me, because I was like, dude, tell me you got Run DMC masks. And he just started laughing. He's like, of course we do.
Of course we do.
He's supposed to be sending me one. I can't wait to get it.
You know,
do we have Breaking the Ice ones?
Should we get those?
No, not yet. I don't know why we haven't yet. I'll get on that. And
because the fucking things are coming from China. Can you fix that?
I want a mask with Mike Shue's 80s flock of seagulls picture on.
Just the hair, not the face. Just the flat,
just the hair,
the mullet, the flat top, and the mullet. That would be.
You guys
fantastic.
all know who Grumpy Cat is. My wife loves Grumpy Cat, and she got one. It's the Grumpy Cat coming through. It just says 6 feet, people.
Man, overnight, the coronavirus, you've turned into a crazy cat family, huh?
My wife
things change
with a kiss mask. She's got like all 4 of their from the
no way.
Yes. Got it at CC Lowell's here in Worcester. They got a whole bunch of different masks. But yeah, she came in. I'm like, how do I get one of those?
Oh, I want one.
And I'm thinking, okay, I just whined that I don't have a mask to stop me from potentially infecting someone with a deadly disease.
Correct.
That's how
I'm gonna bitch because I ordered one from the Red Sox fucking a month ago and it's still not here. Speaking of the Red Sox, did you watch Nesson at all this week? Anybody?
No, I don't have cable.
Times are tough. Okay.
No, not at all. It's great. I got rid of it and whatever streaming I need. But that's the one thing I miss about not having cable is Nesson.
Get the Roku. It comes anyway. Point being, so TC and the guys had cameras at Fenway yesterday, and the way they're extending the bullpen, it's just fucking so weird to look at. You've got your bullpen. 9 players will be in the bullpen, and then let's take the luxury seats. If you're looking at the Red Sox dugout from the pitcher's mound over to the right, they've built this whole metal structure, and the first 7 rows will be like the players are literally going to be sitting behind home base or to the right or left of home base, and then through the dugout. It's so surreal to watch. Like, this is how you're going to have to fucking play professional sports.
You know what, though? If you're going to make that much money, just quarantine these guys together. Like, if you're willing to pay me $10 million a year to play baseball, put me like John Travolta, Boy in the Bubble, and just lock me up with the rest of my team.
Well, they're doing
and just let me quarantine together.
Well, they're doing that.
NBA in Orlando, they've got the bubble, they call it.
Yeah.
Well, I'm talking about this is on field. This is on field.
Yeah, just think about this idea, though, for a second, Carrie. So you've got a bunch of professional athletes who are basically man boys that are getting paid millions of dollars, and you want to keep them in a biosphere somewhere. All right. Think about the weirdness that is going to happen.
You know what? I would lock myself in a biosphere with you assholes if they paid me that kind of money.
Hey, you do it for a fucking normal salary. How dare you?
This is just, it'll just end badly. All right. These guys will be sneaking in and out. They're bringing in the hookers and
they're not going to be able to stay in the bubble
and everything like that. Yeah.
One of them gets coronavirus and ruins the whole thing. And then then they're all unemployed again.
I'd worry more about STDs than coronavirus if you put like thousands of professional athletes in a bubble.
Oh yeah, a bunch of kids with too much money really quick. And I don't get why like the hockey players took so long to agree to where their bubble was going to be, because they were worried about being away from their family too long. I was like, aren't you away from your family?
Yeah.
Like during the whole season. Also, people in the military are away from their family for an entire year, and they make like what, $7?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, quit complaining.
Yeah.
Right.
Seriously.
Well, all of them. It was just different to watch NESN to actually see how they're structuring. So what we know, Fenway Park. The next time when you turn on NESN on July 24th for the first home game or whatever it is going to look completely different. Yeah. Watch NESN if you get a chance. I haven't watched any sports channels or listened to sports radio because there's fucking nothing going on. But yesterday was like, oh my God, this is going to look fucking weird.
It's going to affect play too in all the sports, because you've got players that thrive off that energy from the crowd. The crowd gets that chant going. They start screaming. They're out there, they're waving their arms, they're rooting them on and stuff. And then you've also got players who have a tough time with that kind of pressure in a live kind of performance thing. Now it's going to be reversed. So you'll probably see different performances out of different players. Those who feed off the crowd are now going to have to kind of mentally work things out. And those who are like, this is my ideal situation because all I want to do is play baseball. I don't need some guy throwing batteries at me in right field, or calling me
that was Philadelphia and it was football.
Or a whore bag or whatever,
The UFC fighters said that it was really weird. They could hear the guys in their corner.
Yeah.
Like telling them what to do, that they could actually hear coach instructions and trainer instructions, because normally those UFC fights are so loud.
Right. Yeah.
And they could hear the opponent's trainers and what they were telling them to do. And so you can't tell me that that's not affecting the outcome of the match, right?
And they can hear Joe Rogan saying what they're doing while they're doing it.
While he's doing the announcing.
Did you see how he hit him? That's like that tarantula in Australia. He lays his eggs in your eyeball.
Jamie, bring up that video of that spider eating the giraffe baby.
That's fucked up. If I didn't take 8,000 milligrams of CBD before I came on here, I'd be a fucking mess.
I love that we're all making fun of Joe Rogan right now, and he just got paid $100 million for his podcast.
Hey, fuck him.
My God. We didn't get that offer yet. We're working on that. Josh has got some things.
Yeah, I've sent some emails.
Yeah. I think if we get Lenny Clark on one more time, then we get that.
Yeah. I thought this would do it. This would do it.
We need a little cross promotion, Carrie.
Yeah. Hey, listen, I'm on it.
Who do you have? Do you have anyone lined up yet? I know it's like every week, being like working with you and stuff. It's like sometimes you got something going for weeks in advance. Sometimes some people back out.
Yeah, sometimes something falls in your lap. Like, this week the new episode is Des Fafara from Devil Driver and Cold Chamber.
Nice.
And it's really, really interesting. Obviously, the metal fans are going to love it because it's Des.
Right, and he's a super interesting guy with an incredible story. He's very intelligent. He's very articulate.
It's one of those things where it's like, even if you don't like metal, that you are going to listen to this interview and be like, this guy is like all over the place. Like, I want my podcast to be that thing where, remember in when Behind the Music was like the biggest thing?
Yeah.
And you would watch a behind the music of an artist you didn't even like because you can't believe that that's what their story was.
Right.
I want the podcast to be like that, where even if you don't know who the person is, you might not be a fan of their music or whatever. I'm really trying to have the interviews that I'm doing with these people be more than just talking about their records or their inspiration. Right. Like, I'm really trying to make these interviews so that you feel like you know that person a little bit better than you did when it started.
Good.
And he's a super interesting guy. And and how he looks at the world. He's a Freemason, which I had no idea about. Can you imagine Des Bafara as in a lodge? And he's not just a Freemason, he's an active Freemason.
Whoa.
And so I was just like laughing because I was like, dude, like the
Didn't
guy
see
with
that coming.
face and neck tattoos and the hair down to his ass.
Well, the Freemasons aren't that stodgy, old guy with the cigar.
No, not at all. But just
they're
trying to
very
imagine him in the lodge with all of the other dudes. And he told me a story about how George Washington was made a Mason by his own gardener.
Oh, wow.
And so, that the Masons kind of look at everyone as being the same. And so just the image of like Des from Devil Driver in a Freemason lodge.
Right.
It's just really, he's a huge American history buff. I was telling him about the house in my neighborhood where Lafayette stayed. And he was like, oh my God, really? And he's just a super interesting guy. And talking to him about, he had a really severe health scare with his wife that started late last year. And what it was like as a man to have to nurse his wife back to health and take care of her when women are known to be such nurturers and men are known to be such protectors. And, I said to him in the podcast, like, you can't protect your wife from cancer. So what is it like as a man to have that helplessness where there's nothing you can do to protect her from this, and now all you can do is nurture her through it? And having him talk about that, there's just some really interesting things in there that I think everyone could learn something from. And I've known him. He's one of my oldest friends of all of the bands we played at AAF over the years. I met him really early on. When he was with the Cold Chamber.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's been really, is he sober, completely sober now?
He is sober when it comes to alcohol and like any kind of hardcore drugs.
Right.
He's a marijuana proponent, and that's the only thing that he does. He doesn't drink anymore. He doesn't do any of that stuff, but he smokes weed.
I got blueyed with him in his trailer on that first Devil Driver tour. They were opening up for Superjoint Ritual at the Palladium, and this is Des. Des was in Cold Chamber, and they were like doing Ozfest, and they were huge. And then so he starts Devil Driver. He goes, "Why don't you come on out to the bus? We'll hang out. We'll smoke some weed." I'm like, "Okay." And it's not a bus; it's like a camper. Like he just like started like he just went back to basics again, and it was just like camper with the push out thing. And we went inside, and he was like, he had these like really good bottles of wine. We're drinking wine and stuff, and I remember walking out of that thing like, okay, I know I'm in Worcester.
I'm
not
so
sure what
high.
direction I should start walking at this point, because that's touchy in Worcester. You're in Marblehead. It doesn't matter what direction you start walking. You're in Worcester. If like that could be, that could be a life or death situation.
We were talking about that Cold Chamber album, Chamber Music, which if you go and look at the album cover, that's his wife, Anastasia, that modeled for the cover of the album.
Oh, really? Okay.
They recorded that album at Longview Farm Studios in Massachusetts.
Yeah.
And he told me all these crazy stories. He's not the only one about how haunted that place is, because I had spent so much time there with Seven Dust and Cold Chamber. And he was talking about when they were recording up there that a bunch of us, we all got into a limo and we went to the Palladium to go see the Deftones together, which was just crazy. But Des used to have somebody make him cookies. Like the most potent weed cookies.
Of course.
And that was the first time that I ever had really good, like edible anything. And we talk about it in the episode. And I was like, dude, remember those cookies? And he just started laughing. And I just remember sitting there because I ate one. And then I was like, I can't get out of this chair.
I can't feel my feet.
And then I was like, Des, when is this going to stop? Like,
they're friggin', ugh.
So you're in the same condition as Shu. You're like, I know I'm in Worcester.
I can't feel my feet.
It's so slow,
So I was in that recording studio and they had these big plush leather couches. And I just remember like that leather couch giving me this hug. And I just sat there for hours.
So high.
And if you go back and listen to that Cold Chamber record, like That's what he was eating while they were recording that record.
Some people can function like that.
I don't know how.
I just, I do the same exact thing as you, Carrie. I just melt. I'm like that anti-weed commercial. She's talking to her friend. You were so much cooler, before you started doing weed. And she's like melted into the couch. I'm like, yeah, but Hot Tub Time Machine's even funnier now than it was the last time I saw it. So whatever.
So we talked about a lot of those old times too, which was really good.
Who's a guest who's a guest for the Mistress Carrie podcast that you really like, one that is going to be hard, but you really, really, really want to have on?
Right here. Oh, I got Chris Taylor Brown's number from Trapped if you want that.
Did you guys see that record sold 600 copies this week?
Yeah, a lot of chatter and 600 records sold.
How many did it sell in Istanbul?
42,000. Istanbul's getting love on the show.
Yeah,
no, but seriously, who is that one guest? I mean, obviously you sit there every week. Who's that one guest that will be hard, but you're like, I really just want to have a conversation with that person?
Oh my God, there's so many people.
Tough one, right?
I mean, if you're talking about like my Mount Rushmore of dream guests, I want to interview a Beatle. There's only 2 of them left. I want to interview a fucking Beatle.
Oh my God.
Like that is, I mean, if we're talking Mount Rushmore of music guests, Ringo and Paul McCartney are like at the top. I would love to talk to Robert Plant. I would love to talk to the AC/DC guys. They're celebrating. Did you see all of that stuff that they're putting up on their YouTube channel celebrating the 40th anniversary of Back in Black? There's so much cool stuff.
Oh my God, yeah.
I mean, I would love to talk to Axl. Getting to him is almost impossible.
Right.
I've interviewed Slash multiple times, but talking to Axl would be amazing. But you know what? It's not even just about like the big famous artists. Like there are so many amazing artists, musicians, just interesting people.
Well, that's what I mean. It doesn't have to be the top.
Everybody
but
has
someone that is interesting.
Yeah, everybody has these amazing stories, but like, I mean, like Ringo just celebrated his 80th birthday. Like
That'd be cool.
I would literally sever an unimportant digit if I could interview like Paul McCartney. It would just be
oh my God. You saw that James Gordon thing he did with in the car with Paul McCartney on his show? Oh my God, that is fucking amazing. Everybody cries. I cried. I was like, what is this?
Would you cut off the Bigfoot or the little Talon?
The Bigfoot's part of the company name. You can't do that.
Yeah, but come on.
I said a digit, so maybe the little toe on the little foot or something.
Don't fuck with the Bigfoot needs insurance like fucking J-Lo's ass.
The Bigfoot is not going anywhere. Did you guys see Zappos and their announcement today, by the way? Did you see this?
No.
See, for people like you, you wouldn't even notice this news because it doesn't affect you. Zappos announced today that they are going to start selling shoes one at a time and in mismatched pairs for amputees and people that have 2 different size feet.
Oh my God, Carrie.
It's such a huge thing for me.
Because Carrie has to buy 2 pairs of shoes.
Yeah.
Every time she goes shoe shopping. And, as a woman, shoe shopping, that's like breathing air and grocery shopping.
You know how much money I spent in sneakers training for the marathon last year? Because running shoes aren't cheap. So every time I had to buy a new pair, I had to buy 2. So Zappos announced that they've partnered with Nike, Converse, New Balance. There's like 5, 6, 7 shoe manufacturers that are part of this program. And
That's awesome.
It's to make it so that people that have drastically different sized feet or amputees don't have to buy shoes they can never use.
And what's the name of your company now?
Bigfoot First Productions.
Boom.
There we go. And do you still send your unused ones to Corey Taylor?
He doesn't want the shoes. He just likes the foot.
Yeah, he's a foot guy.
You were talking about. I was talking to you last week, and you were talking about where you're going to be going as far as website and merchandise. Talk a little bit about the where the Mistress Carrie podcast is going and what you're going to be doing.
So now that I got MCHQ built, which is where I am right now, so now that the studio is built and the podcast episodes are established every Wednesday, those are the long form podcast episodes.
Right.
Cocktails in the War Room is an established video show now that you can watch live on my Facebook page. But if you don't have Facebook, you can go to the Mistress Carrie YouTube channel because I record the shows and put them up on YouTube as well. Then I have guests. So this week, I had Mark LaBelle from Dirty Honey in the War Room with me.
Nice.
And if you missed the War Room, I put those interviews up as what I call after action reports up on the podcast as well. So the audio is out there. Then I'm going to start. So the next phase of the expansion is going to be mistresscarrie.com, which is almost finished construction right now. That's going to have so much stuff, photo archives, audio stuff. It's going to have an event and concert calendar. It's going to have all of the stuff from my podcast. It's going to have an online store, which is going to have a whole new line of Mistress Carrie and Cocktails in the War Room merchandise that I'm working on designing right now. So there's going to be Cocktails in the War Room barware. And I'm working.
Can I get a shot glass?
Yeah, we're working on that stuff.
Nice.
Beer koozies, all of that kind of stuff. I'm working on some dog stuff. Wednesday, my pug is going to have her own little corner of the merch store. So there's going to be dog stuff.
Don't you have to have a dog to have dog stuff?
I have a dog. Mike, you were awfully friendly with Wednesday in the War Room. She was sitting on your lap. You were making little googly faces at her.
She liked my skin cream. That's what it was. It was kind of creeping me out a little bit. Yeah.
You love Wednesday. We all love Wednesday. Wednesday.
I'm going to have
the Instagram page is awesome for Wednesday.
Oh, yeah. You can follow Wednesday. She has almost 800 followers on Instagram now. Wednesday the Goth Pug is her handle on Instagram, which is hilarious.
Does she wear clothes? Because I know Mike's shoe.
Clothes on your dogs and stop signing them up for social media accounts. Christ. Let them be.
So I'm going to have t-shirts.
This is where Mike walks off the show. Give it about another 2 minutes. He's got to get up and fucking storm off.
So there's going to be like hats and all kinds of stuff. I'm working on Halloween stuff. I mean,
awesome.
Of course you are.
People Halloween stuff, Christmas stuff. There's going to be a lot of purple stuff, obviously.
Love it.
I am working right now for any of my military and veteran friends. I'm working very hard on a line of Mistress Carrie Silkies. So for those are the little silky military shorts that the guys wear. They call them Ranger panties. They call them silkies. Like that scene in Top Gun where they're all shirtless playing beach volleyball and they're wearing those little military shorts. That's
when I get up and go get a beer. I'm out at that point.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to
get be my wingman any day.
Yeah.
I'm working on Mistress Carrie Silkies right now. So there's a lot of that coming out. There's going to be.
Mike, will you wear some of the Mistress Carrie Silkies on the show?
You guys are getting them.
We should do like a little promo video for Breaking the Ice with us playing volleyball shirtless.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Listen, we promote you. You promote us. It's all good. We're going to get some.
You guys can model all the Mistress Carrie merch, especially the Silkies. Yes.
How to tank a business. Get us to do some shirtless modeling. Yeah.
And now Timmy Boomsauce puts up some fucked up shit. He'll be all over that.
Oh yeah, he'll get a hold of something. Now, if you do get Ringo on, are you going to go live cutting the digits off, or?
You know what? I mean, then I'm going to need some of Dez's weed cookies, I think, to make that happen for sure. But
how many Ringo? Thanks for coming on the show.
How many digits for Pete Best?
Oh yeah, Pete Best.
That's your first question. So, how do you think Pete Best felt about you taking his spot?
Oh man!
Well, Pete Best actually later on in life, Pete Best actually said it was the best thing that ever happened to him.
Oh, okay.
He turned it around this way. So he said that I would have never met the woman who is my wife now, and I never would have had the kids that I had.
All right.
And I love them so much. And he said that he loves his life now. He can't imagine being without the people in his life, and that never would have happened if he got kicked out of if he didn't get kicked out of the Beatles.
That's what his therapist tells him.
I was going to say, how many sessions did that take?
No. Hi, I'm Pete Best. I'm the drummer for the Beatles, and now I'm out of the fucking Beatles. But my life
that's like
is wonderful.
Elon Musk saying, "Hey, do you want to be a part of this Tesla thing?" And you're like, "No, get away."
Nah,
and then,
I'm good.
Oh God.
It didn't really work out all that way for John Lennon, Josh. That fame and stardom has a price too.
That's very true.
Mike, drop the mic. That's what I'm talking about.
And he is right when it comes to those. I mean, look, you're a fucking Beatle. You
Right.
know, there's all kinds of stuff and privileges and money and things that come with that.
But
But
negative.
but there is also a lot of negative stuff when it comes to not being able to do anything normally and
Go outside.
in that kind of a bubble and dealing with the stalkers and all of the dangerous stuff that comes with it. And
Right.
Although I wouldn't mind trying just for a little.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to give that a shot.
Give it a
Yeah,
tough
for that
run.
bank account, you know, way the
You know what?
Okay.
I'll get a fucking bodyguard and I'll suffer through that kind of money and fame.
Sounds okay.
Jesus Christ.
All
Didn't
right, you
Paul
guys.
McCartney go through a wife with a wooden leg? I mean, he's
No,
fine.
well, yeah, she did have one leg.
yeah.
You're fine. You go through fucked up shit. You're a Beatle.
But he
Yeah.
also lost a wife that he loved to cancer.
Okay.
Yeah.
There ups and downs. Ups and downs.
Yeah.
Right.
This
So
is awesome.
then speaking of music, so one of the things that I'm working on too with the podcast and one of the ways I'm expanding is especially now, I talked to Mark from Dirty Honey about this in the War Room.
Dirty
the
Honey's
biggest-
great. I love that band.
Yeah, they're awesome, but a lot of the big established bands right now, they're not able to tour and whatever, but
Right.
those guys financially, career-wise, they've already established themselves, so they're going to be able to weather this storm. I mean, a lot of the bigger bands have these massive staffs that are now furloughed and stuff, but their music catalogs and whatever, but these newer bands, not only was it already hard losing radio stations like WAF to be a platform for these bands, but now with the coronavirus, they can't tour, they can't open up for bigger bands and get exposed. So one of the things that I'm working on and one of the fourth quarter kind of expansions for me is working out a way for me to shine a spotlight and introduce people to new up and coming artists, so that people will be able to kind of find those new bands that they might not have otherwise heard about. And so that's one of the things,
great.
trying to carry on that tradition that WAF had for so many years about breaking some of these new bands, that I'm working really hard to create a platform to be able to break those bands as well. So I'm pretty excited about that too.
Good.
Nice.
You're kicking ass.
I think
Yeah.
the puppet just moved.
Yeah, I thought
Your
I think I
puppet
saw
just
that
moved?
too,
Did you just
Josh.
say my puppet? What?
No.
Just moved.
Racist
one of
cock.
them.
Play the racist cock.
Oh, I misplaced my cock.
How do you
Oh.
fucking misplace the cock? Oh, I got called out last week on the show. You were mentioning Mount Rushmore. I said that Aussie Paul put that thing up on social media. It was actually Timmy Boomsauce. He had a picture of me and Josh and Mike, and then the fourth one was the racist cock.
Oh, nice. Right.
Well, there you go.
I mean, look, if you're gonna cancel culture and pull the presidents down, we might as well fucking throw our
Yeah.
three asshole
Mount
faces up there at a
Cockmore.
cock.
Yeah,
He
absolutely.
said either put the cock up there or where's my cat, or put Cheddar, because Cheddar gets some love these days.
Nice.
Speaking of those guys, before we go, we got a couple messages if you want to play them.
Yeah.
Oh,
let's
do it.
Yeah.
You can go and leave us voice messages on breakingtheicepodcast.com. It takes you over to the Anchor platform. You can literally call and say whatever you want,
I love
Go for
that.
right?
Well, yeah, just wait. Let's listen to him first before you
See what they say.
Okay, all right.
All right, for some reason it doesn't have the names this time, so let's just see what happens.
Okay.
Gentlemen, it's your good friend William here. Two things. One, just wanted to shout out the baddest bitch in Boston, Mistress Carrie, who I know is sitting right there with you guys right now.
Yeah.
Hi, Carrie. Love the
Hi.
podcast. Love the cocktails in the war room. Miss you on the air. And secondly, Mike, I wanted to give a possible contribution to your Italian hoagie odyssey that you've been on. There's this little place, God, I can't remember exactly where it's located, but it's in Southbridge. It's called Margot's. It's a little deli. I used to go there
okay.
for breaks at work all the time. Never actually had their Italian sub, but from what I've heard, it is pretty damn amazing. So might be something you want to check out. All right, guys. Good stuff as always. Keep kicking ass. Much love. Rock on.
William, thank you so much for the support and thanks for the tip on the subs. And my doctor, thanks you.
Now, do you go mayo on that again? I forget.
Oh my God.
I do a little mayo, sometimes oil.
Oh my God. If we were in the same room, I'd stab both of you with my pen in the
Do you
neck.
Hey,
guys not know how to eat an Italian? You don't
Hey, I
put
mix it up a
mayo on
little bit. You mix it up a
They're
little
friggin'
bit.
Idiots. And, you know, it was
All right.
bad enough.
I
We'll
never
call
know
them
what's going to set
hoagies.
everybody off.
Whatever.
Jesus.
You don't
Is this when you
fucking
walk
know.
off? You haven't walked off the show yet. I put mayonnaise on my Italian sub.
Oh, it's disgusting. You're a
You can
savage.
walk out too. You get up and walk out too.
Putting mayo on mortadella, you know, I mean, does that even? That's like.
I mix it
Right.
up
It's
sometimes.
all about your oil and vinegar, salt and pepper, and some hots, right?
Yeah,
Oh, God.
well, I prefer the hot relish. Banana peppers are good too. I like
Those
those.
are so good.
Yeah.
But oil and vinegar and salt
Oil
and pepper.
vinegar and spices. That's it.
Okay.
Nothing else. No mayo.
how it's supposed to
fucking
be.
mustard. You know, mayo goes with certain things. Just
All
not. in
right,
Italian
all right.
style.
Play another voicemail before he
All
starts fucking crying.
It's Margot's. Thank you, Will.
Will's awesome.
What's up, Shu? Josh? What's that other guy's name? Isaiah? Yeah, Isaiah. Hope you guys enjoyed your holiday, enjoyed your week off. Look forward to this week's podcast. Hey, Isaiah, why don't we get some treats for cheddar?
Yes.
It was a little choppy, but I could hear treats in there. So
Treats for cheddar.
He sounded like he had like. He sounded like he had 4 voice boxes. You know,
He had throat
like a
cancer.
pump
Something was
organ
going on there.
system going on there.
he
Yeah.
took Mike Shu's radio advice with the smoking.
Oh, there you
You
go.
can smoke-
That's
you'll
what
have a
happens when you
silky
smoke menthol.
voice.
Yeah.
All right, let's.
G'day, Isaiah, Mike, and not Josh Dolan. I hate hot cups of tea and treats
I mean,
and snakes and everything else in the world. You goddamn Adrian Monk wannabe. Anyway, my job for you this week is name the all-time favourite Patriots team from all eras, minus Tom Brady. Fuck Brady. Okay, and go sit the kid. Okay, and go.
What did he want?
Favorite Patriots team minus Tom Brady.
oh, I thought it was another movie. He sent us down a movie rabbit hole one week.
Yeah, I had a blog about it.
That was good. That was good. We can discuss that.
Well, it has to be the one with Jim Plunkett back in the late 70s when they were the worst football team in the world.
Right.
Everybody should go back and watch those games if they
That
can.
when they played at
Just,
Fenway?
you know, and just remember how
Schaefer
bad
Stadium,
the Patriots
awful.
were. Right? Schaefer Stadium. How
Schaefer
bad
Stadium.
the Patriots were for so long.
The Patriots were so bad that when I was a kid, WPIX Channel 11 out of New York would come in. My parents were from New York, and I would flip it over. And that's when I first saw the Big Tuna, Phil Simms.
Yeah.
Mark Bavaro went to my high school, and I started watching fucking Giants games. The Patriots were so bad. I had
Oh,
no
yeah.
issue with the Giants until they beat us twice in the Super Bowl. Now we're done. Now we're
Just
done.
don't we don't need to talk about that.
No, we don't. We don't.
It's hard enough.
It's
Yeah.
it's friggin' awesome. I can't wait till football starts so I can see Brady and Gronk out there just kicking ass and having a great time.
I'm excited for Cam Newton.
The millions
Right?
of crying Patriots. Yeah, actually, yeah, I'm very excited to see how Cam
That's
Newton
exciting.
does up here
Well, no, I'm
under
glad they
Bill
did that
Belichick.
because now we don't have to have that conversation. You're right. There were so many like pink hat, whiny, bitchy Patriots fans. It'll just good for you,
Right.
Tom. You gave us 20 years. Go
Yeah,
fucking play in
he
Florida.
retired
Good
to
for you.
Florida. He
And
retired
I'm glad
to
that we
Florida
don't
with
have to
Gronk.
sit through a season of ripping apart Stidham. Now, first of all, Newton's got to get the starting role, but Cam Newton's a totally different fucking cat.
Yeah,
He's
should be
31 years
interesting.
old. He can move, and there's
Yep.
no comparing. Don't.
Right.
It's a different person. Shut
But
the
it's
fuck
under
up and watch football.
he's got to know how to work with Belichick. That's the only thing.
Yes.
You could be the greatest player in the world, but if you can't work with the general, then
You're fired.
You're not there for long.
He looks
He's
good
doing-
in romper, though.
Yeah, that's
He's-
true. We're gonna have
There's
some awesome
the
fashion
post game
statements.
the post game conferences are going to be intense. I don't know if you've been watching Cam, but every day he's doing a lot of chatting early. He's
Yeah.
having he's good friends with Odell Beckham Jr. and they have
Right.
round tables and they're
Right.
talking and it's like
We'll see.
read the fucking playbook and figure
We'll
it out
see.
or you'll be like fucking Ocho Cinco. Bye-bye.
Well, they wrangled Randy Moss. They could probably.
Yeah, oh my
Cam
God.
Newton. So
They wrangled a few. Who was the running back they got from Cincinnati way back in the day? Fuck. He was a total pain in the dick in
Oh,
Cincinnati.
I know who you're talking about.
Josh
Yeah,
Gordon.
they kept that guy Aaron Hernandez in check too.
Yeah, they did. They did a great job with him.
That one hurt.
He had concussions.
Let's go to the next. Is there another voicemail, Josh?
Yeah,
No, hold on.
Really
Next
angry.
caller.
Yes.
there's one here. It says from our friend Nicole at Invoke Media, but it says the audio is not available. So I'm going to go to the next one. I don't.
Invoke Media Group did our website. Love you.
Yep.
Thank you.
BreakingTheIcePodcast.com.
Let's see what this one is.
There's nudes up there of Mike Shue.
G'day, Isaiah,
No,
Mike,
not.
and
You already played that one.
not
Oh, that's the same one.
And he's the producer of the show, Carrie.
Yeah, Josh is the technical genius here, which
They're
says a
not
lot.
labeled. Okay.
They're
See,
not
that's what
labeled.
sucks about my podcast is that when things get fucked up, I'm the only one that can take the blame. I don't have a Josh to be able to blame everything on. It's
We
all
just yell at
me.
him. We call him a millennial. He screams boomer at us. He doesn't even really know how old we are. It just gets weird.
I don't know. Your generation doesn't have a name, you know?
Generation X. Look at the fucking
X. What are you talking about? We all know that.
It was Generation X.
X? I thought that was this the like the college kids.
No, that's
No,
generation.
Boomers are 65 plus. X is our age.
Oh, it's
I
just
don't
the forgotten generation.
Parents are generation are the baby boomers.
Josh didn't even know that 95 and 128 were the same thing until like 3 months ago.
No, I didn't. Why? I mean,
how the fuck don't you know these things?
Because I grew up with a GPS. I just plug it in and I go where the
You're making fun of our generation when we can read maps.
Yeah.
I mean, I can read a map. I mean,
You can't read a fucking map. You use your
Nobody
fucking
knows your
GPS.
generation.
Took you
Your
3
genera-
hours to get to my house the other day. You're using the fucking GPS in your car, for fuck's sake.
If your generation was an album, it'd be the one where Kiss didn't wear makeup. Nobody remembers it.
That had their biggest hit on it. Look it up.
Coming from a fucking millennial. Jesus.
Chili Peppers with Navarro. Get out of here.
That's a good example.
Wow. Yeah, your examples are spot on, but you're 12.
All right. Are there any more voicemails, Josh?
No.
Okay, good. Well, thank you for leaving those voice messages, or drag mail, as we like to call it. We can't think of a better name. So you can leave a drag mail if you go to Breaking the Ice Podcast, and it'll take you to the Anchor platform where you can just hit the voice message tab and leave us a voice message anytime you like. You're inspired at 3 a.m, 3 p.m, sitting on the can, whatever you're doing. We'd love to hear from you.
Leave us a voicemail while you're taking a shit.
Yeah, because that's when you're really most inspired and emotional sometimes. Carrie, thank you very much for joining us here.
Thank you.
Thanks for having me. I feel bad for whoever canceled on you at the last minute and I had to fill in for them, but no problem. Anytime.
That would be Kevin Barbary.
Kevin fucking Barbary.
I knew it.
Yes, Barbary. Yeah, he's a shifty one. That hopefully we'll have him on next week, though. But yeah, thank you for coming on. And it's the Mistress Carrie Podcast. It's on all the platforms.
Yeah, I finally got Pandora this week. That was the last one that I was having a hard time kind of getting. We were having some technical issues. I think that the Mistress Carrie name got me put in that this is probably a porn podcast. Dustin.
Yeah.
But,
probably my fault.
Into Google.
Yeah, it's probably Josh's fault.
Yeah.
But it's on Pandora
you
now.
did talk about panties, so it is kind of pornish.
Yeah.
I know. It's on Pandora now, and new episodes every Wednesday. Yeah, it's on iHeart, radio.com, Google, Spotify, Apple, Stitcher, Deezer, Pocket Cast, Overcast. It's
Undercast,
Awesome
Inside
band
Cast,
from the
Beanie,
90s.
Audi, Up, Down.
yeah, they're all out there. So that's
Well,
new
seriously,
episodes
congrats.
every Wednesday. Thank you guys. I appreciate
you've been
this
working
support.
you've been working your ass off. You're dedicated as fuck to what you do, and it's paying off. So congrats.
And Cocktails in the War Room is when?
Every Tuesday night at 8:30 live on my Facebook page. When things get a little more normalized and we can all be in close proximity together, like we got to set the cameras up in the war room and have you guys all come in and we'll do a whole
That'd be awesome.
Breaking the Ice Cocktails in the War Room episode. That would be so much fun.
Can we spend the night?
Well, I mean, we could probably get an Uber.
Yeah,
And that way you could get home, okay, safely without living on my couch and eating meatballs for 3 days.
It would only be one night. It would only be one night. I love my
That's
wife.
what you said last time.
All right, you guys. Hey, Carrie, again, thank you very much. Mistress Carrie Podcast. Listen to it every week. Also, Breaking the Ice Podcast. We want to thank our sponsors again: Garage Doors Plus, Boston Exterior Remodeling, Wolfpack Coffee USA, and Invoke Media Group, who does our website, breakingtheicepodcast.com, where you can go and listen to all of the episodes. If you missed one, you can check out the blogs, and more importantly, check out the merchandise that Josh Dolan, the merch empire he is creating, is happening before your eyes.
It only takes 9 weeks when you order a T-shirt to get here. It's really fucking.
Oh yeah,
This one is handmade by 12-year-old children in Thailand, so it takes.
You need my mom and my godmother to pack them for you because they were machines with the Cocktails in the War Room shirts.
Oh, it's not the packing. It's the getting the fucking things here.
Yeah.
But check out the merch page on the breakingtheicepodcast.com. All right, guys.
Thank you, Carrie.
Carrie,
Thank
thanks
you
again. Good luck.
Thanks
We'll
for
talk to
having
you
me.
soon. And let's all do the Zoom reach where we try to find the leave meeting button and we leave.
I'm grabbing my own boob over here. I didn't feel up the Muppet.
This is very hot for like Jim Henson.